Hey, 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 Cosmic Family. Come on in, come on in. So, another message for y'all. I'm clearing energy, y'all. My channel's open, and I've allowed my meditation to kind of flow over into a collective message that the guides want to give. But before we jump into today's channel reading, I did. All right. So, family, for those of y'all who are new, my name is Antrinette Shané, and AKA this is my channel, The Cosmic Medicine Woman. Thank y'all for stopping through. Hopefully, y'all like the content. Subscribe, like down below. And for those of y'all who are returning, I got a quick announcement. Sessions are open. Sessions are open. Y'all, the day is here. Sessions are finally open. So check down below for the link. The business link in the name of the business is Soul Tapestries. And so with that, just real quick with sessions, I am to speak to who I am and what I do. I'm a psychic medium, shaman, quantum healer, Reiki master. All of the clairs are open. Oracle card readings, tools of divination. I dabble and pull from many different spiritual practices and backgrounds, hence the name The Cosmic Medicine Woman. My origins from the stars, but I also am a lover of earth magic as well. So with that being said, the soul integration sessions have been specifically curated around all of the gifts that I have awakened and cultivated and been learning to use these gifts. And so I finally have something that works in working with other family and friends. I started this journey back in 2020. So I'm bringing all of that into one baby now. So I'm just starting out with simple sessions, 1 hour, 2 hour sessions. I also have consultations if you have more questions or you're interested, but you don't know if you quite want to work together. Definitely book a consultation with me. But I'll say really quickly on here, as far as the sessions go, what can you expect in a session? So typically, I didn't want to just offer like cord cuttings, chakra clearings, Reiki, and all the different things, because I found that in sessions, in clearing energy and working with the energy body really is what I specialize in for now. Is that the session almost leads itself with our guides, our higher souls, our intention. Most of the time, my clients' intentions are met, but oftentimes there will be a loved one that comes with a message. There will be a deity or archangel or a light language, or my Reiki will automatically activate. And so I do allow for my sessions to be divinely led. And so with that, I wanted to curate the session to be more about time, and versus particular oracle readings and Reiki sessions. And so if something is birthed out of the business and working with multiple clients, the more clients I take on, if it starts to lean towards having a Reiki session option or an oracle reading option, I'm open to that, and creating what the needs of the people are. So for now, I figure we just start there. The specifics on what we would do in a session, whether it's cord cutting, energy removal, destiny retrieval, soul retrieval, to the specifics of those, you can read that in the descriptions of the different sessions. If you want to know more about what those are, of course, get a consultation. My intention also will be to talk more about these things individually. Maybe you've never heard of what's a soul retrieval, what's a destiny retrieval, what is a cord cutting, 7 chakra illumination. Some of these things are not, I recognize are not, the things that are just happening when you go out here for healing. So my intention on my channel, which I'll link in the description below, and which I have a couple videos up right now. So y'all be patient, bear with me. I'm now going to lean into that now that I got my calendar and the logistics of that piece done. Now I'm going to lean into Soul Tapestries, the channel. Which you will be able to find soon information where I'll go into and talk about each of those things so that you have a point of reference. If you work with me in the future, you'll be able to just go onto that channel, and which eventually I'll also want to have channeled messages. So as I start to work with clients, and even if I work with you, more than once, and once my coaching sessions and packages come up, I want to channel specific messages, especially as the energy shifts and changes and the energy that we're moving into. We're moving into a time that we're at a critical shift in time. And so I'll want to give specific guidance to the people who are investing in me and who are looking to me for information. So I will be putting channeled messages, eventually have a membership going over there to talk about some things that I might not necessarily want to put on this channel. Stay tuned. Thank you. Go ahead, check down below, click to either the channel or click to my link tree. And hopefully I'll get to see you in a more personal setting. If not, I thank you for just checking my channel out thus far. I love you, and back to the channel reading. All right, y'all. So now that I'm done telling y'all about the sessions, we can get started with this reading. So, like I said, my channel's already open. I've already cleansed and cleared the space. I have my decks that I'm using today. So I'm going to shuffle and spread here in a second. But I just kind of give y'all what I got. So this message is really kind of a play on, it's my message as well as your message. I set the intention today to come sit down, do my personal meditation, and to receive a message for the collective, because it's been, over a week since the post. And my intention will be for right now to at least post once a week. And of course I'll post more if spirit guides me, if I got the time, but I'm trying to juggle sessions with this. So at least once a week. So with that said, my meditation really just kind of flowed. They paused, I received some personal messages, but then they told me, okay, this part you need to start recording. So it's for me, it's for you. And I'll just share some of what was happening as I started to go into meditation. And really what's been coming up as we're coming off this full moon in Taurus. Sorry, y'all. My forehead is itching. I don't know what that's about, but yeah, it's an unclear energy, y'all. Y'all know, if y'all have seen me in other videos, the energy is clearing. But anywho, I was saying, yes. So with this full moon and even in this meditation, I was getting a lot of, what I want to say, memories that aren't, I'm not going to say they're negative or they're low vibrational, but they were experiences, painful experiences. Right. And so I It was just, it was memories, but specific. Okay. So with these memories, they were the more tough lessons, right? They were the tougher lessons that I had to go through, or that I manifested for myself. And it started to feel like, for those of y'all who reflect, contemplate, and do shadow work, whatever you want to refer to it as, healing, counseling, you're diving deep into your shit, you know. It almost felt like I was going into this spiral, and I'm like, I'm sitting here in meditation, and all of these memories that weren't the best, weren't me in the best light, you know, things that I've done, things that have been done for me, to me, however you communicate your experiences. They feel like they've happened to you, but it actually is for you if you've gone through the other side and done the work. But it's just like, man, okay, I've dealt with all of that. Like, why is all of, and it's like, it almost felt like I was going into a spiral, and I'm like, wait, you know, I had to make sure my energy was clear, and I'm like, what is this all about? And so, as I brought my attention back, what this was highlighting was moments in my past where, whether they were interactions, whether it was just me or interactions with other people, I was expressing my truth, right? And it wasn't well received. And so in those moments, and it just kind of felt like it was, you know, like the movie clips that go from scene to scene to scene to scene. And I'm like, dang, oh God, I forgot that. But it was moments where I would say, I don't want to say I played myself, but you know how you say things or do things and you're like, oh, man, I played myself in that. Or other people have said or done things and you're like, oh, I should have said this. Oh man, I can't believe I did that. It's almost like you want to repent for it all over again. So it was that feeling that I had to not get caught in, but observe. And so I'm like, okay, why am I observing? It was a theme. And to circle back around this theme of truth, right? And so what came to me was, truth. When your truth is not accepted, right? When your truth is not accepted. Those were moments where I perceived those moments negatively within myself, right? And so, you know, sometimes your truth, I don't want to say hurts other people, it hurts their feelings, you know. And sometimes it can be hard to discern between, especially if you are empathetic and you feel other people and you don't like confrontation, you don't like to see other people hurting, you know, you can kind of be in this weird seesaw of emotion between either holding your truth, saying your truth and feeling bad after you say your truth because it affects the other person. I don't want to say negatively, but it's painful for them, right? And whether it's a projection on their part, right? Ultimately, when you are speaking your truth, it is not your responsibility for the other's emotions. And so that was a whole lesson in this walk. When I look back, there were many times where I reflected on moments that I unnecessarily took on, and it wasn't unnecessary, it was needed for me to get to this place where I can look back, hindsight 2020, and be wiser moving forward and understand what that actually was. Those moments give me points to reflect upon And even if I took on that pain or felt guilt or felt shame or felt whatever lower vibrational emotion came or was associated with those interactions, there were moments where my intent was not well-meaning, right? And those moments I own and I take responsibility for. I take responsibility for all at this point in my walk. But there were moments where my intent was not to harm. It was just my truth. And sometimes our truth is seemingly not good enough, right? And so we either lower our standard, we take on whatever their feeling is, whether they project back to us, whether the truth they don't want to face, they project on and distort or how do I want to say this? I'm trying to communicate it in a way. Their perception of it, they turn the story into whatever their feeling is or however they perceive it, but it wasn't the intention of the one who was telling the truth, right? And so just reflecting upon those moments and the ones that were kind of going through my mind as a reel, it was really moments where I was really uncomfortable or where some of those things were with me for a while, months or years. And so, but when I reflected on back to them, and even now, even with this full moon, a lot of things have been coming up, right? Like, I had a group meeting with some of my what do I say, energetic family, my spiritual family that we kind of meet weekly. And I explained it's like an energetic pimple is being popped. There's a lot of stuff just coming up and coming up and coming up. But this is why it's coming back. Long story short. So let's just move on. The point that I was making was the truth that you may be experiencing right now that's coming back around is the things that you need to look at, right? As I pulled a deck, I did pull this, I am going to be reading from this deck, the African Goddess, and then the Ancestor. I'm going to go ahead and show these now, since I'm already here. And of course, I do what I normally do and put the front of the card. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the screen. But Spirit told me to look at the inside of this, right? This inscription and what was written. So you called upon the goddesses and the goddesses called you. You are being called to bear witness to your own joy, magic, and power. Will you heed the call? And so with this message, as I combine them, I also heard Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre's, I think it's Dr. Dre, right? Snoop, are you ready? The next episode, hey. And I was like, what? If y'all know the lyrics, smoke weed every day. That's not the part. I'm familiar with that song. I know Spirit was trying to get me the message, the next episode, right? And so it's specifically that part, about, are you ready for the next episode? Right? So in combining with this message, the truth, right? So what we're called to do right now with this full moon energy, as it's passed, you've been experiencing maybe negative thoughts, perceived negative thoughts. But I want to challenge you to look deeper into that, right? And not into it to necessarily for the shadow work of it, for the deep dive, because it's actually recommended right now to alchemize your energy and to be in joy and creativity and happiness and to be in the more high vibration or positive energy, however you define it. But specifically, if those things are coming up, more of an observation, right? Not the deep dive, but the observation. Like, so if you could detach your emotion from being triggered from remembering and from as those things are coming up, but just step back from it, detach from it. If you need to pretend like it's somebody else's story, whatever you need to do to put that degree of separation in between the reflections and the remembrance of the memories that are coming up, take that separation of just observe, right? Because what we're called to do, what is being asked of us, is to step into the next episode. Taurus is about grounding, bringing the things into 3D, abundance. It's very much about the tangible beauties. And, in the military, we used to say, slow is smooth and smooth is fast, right? Yeah. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So steady, one step in front of the other. It's about getting to your abundance, getting into your purpose, into the beauty of what's around you, right? So it's really about how I liken this is anchoring heaven on earth. What is your heaven on earth? What is the thing that brings you joy, happiness? What are you here to create and manifest? Really, this full moon is about releasing all of the old so that you are making space and room to step into this next episode, right? Your next episode, whatever that is for you. And so, with that said, I'm going to start shuffling these cards. But to tie in the truth piece, in order for you to let go, there is almost this, again, if I use the analogy that I've already created without thinking too hard, the energetic pimple, all the stuff that's coming up, right? It's the final look at, as these things are coming around that you thought you dealt with, are you really over them? Are you really over it? Right? If it comes back around and it's like you're back in it again, don't get caught in it, right? It's not for you to get caught back into the spiral of the past. It's for you to look at the past to see that you're truly past it, right? You're truly past it. If you are healed from the things of the past, when you are healed, not to say that you should rush healing or bypass by any means, but what's the evidence showing you as you look at the things that are coming up for you right now? Are those things, right? And it's almost the question of, do you want to stay with that thing? Maybe some things you're supposed to keep. Maybe there's a part of the thing. Maybe there's a part of an experience, or there's a part of something, the way that you handle something. Maybe part of it you don't really care for, but another part of how you handled it was beautiful and it's something that you want to carry forward. We are being called to discern what we need to let go of, what we need to alchemize, and what we need to take forward into this next episode, right? You're being called. And this next episode is about your joy, your bliss, your happiness, your manifestation, your heaven on earth, your calling. Are you heeding the call, right? So with that being said, okay, this is it. Okay. So, Spirit, am I reading? How am I reading these? Okay. So I'm gonna read these. I have two came out upside down, two came out right side up. So I'm to read these upside down and then flip them. But here we go. The first card. So I got two goddesses. I can't talk, so let me slow down. Slow down. Right? Again, a mention. This is a mention to slow down, to see. Like I just said earlier, right? It's about taking one step forward. Okay. So Spirit saying another mention for the Taurus full moon, the Taurus energy period, right? And the beauty and the tangible things, in the abundance, the one step forward, one foot in front of the other, right? Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Some of you are moving too fast. Slow down. It's time to slow down. Really think about, especially if you're in a space of like, like one of my mentors said, in suspension, right? Perfect definition. If you feel suspended, as if you don't have the clarity quite yet, you're being called to slow down because your soul knows what you want, right? Your soul knows if you, and you need to think about why it is that you're not allowing yourself to experience or to create that moment of joy, right? Maybe it is that what you are curious about and what you want to step into, maybe you doubt yourself. Maybe you think that this could never be the thing that I'm supposed to do. This is not going to bring me the financial support that I need. This is not right. Like we are almost, if you are thinking that to do this tangible thing is to compromise your security or your safety, right? It's almost like what's coming to me is like your security is at that root chakra, right? The security and safety is in question to explore the thing that you really want to. And this is really, really, I'm getting goosebumps. This is really the trust. This is the true trust for all my spiritual folk, even if you're religious, right? This is really the time to understand the true meanings of faith and trust, in spirit, but the spirit within yourself that you are connected to. We are connected to one source, right? To one source, God, whatever that one source, whatever, there's many names that we refer to it by, right? And whatever it is for you, the faith of the mustard seed, right? The trust, the true surrender, and giving it all to the one, is it is part of that. I'll say part of that is the thing that brings you joy. You can identify what that thing is, what you're supposed to surrender, because the thing that you're here to do brings you joy, right? We've been conditioned to abandon ourselves in a way, right? And at least that's been my experience, right? It's not, I'm not speaking as this is an absolute, right? I've grown up in the United States. So I'll speak to that. This isn't everybody. If you've grown up in other countries, in your home or a spiritual family or whatever the case may be, and that wasn't your story, it is many people's story, right? It's the story that I see around me. I also see other stories around me. So I acknowledge that some people have beautiful stories, and they have beautiful journeys, and they've been connected from the beginning. But I'm referring to those of us who have been and who are in places that aren't necessarily our highest, that don't necessarily bring us the most joy. We are being called to start manifesting, if you're not already, to start manifesting that thing that brings you the highest joy. Because if it's not your purpose, it is the next step to that purpose, right? And in that, I have the joy that came out upside down. And again, I'll put the actual card on this part of the video. But this is joy, right? And as you look, I'm not going to flip the card again. Just look into the card. I'll show on there. This mama and the baby has got, it's almost like they're intertwined with the earth and with nature. And it's funny because this nature, you saw my last reading, this nature spirit card came out. So again, a big emphasis on nature here. And even in this one, there's a lot of nature in the background, right? And I'll show all these cards. But nature again being highly emphasized here. But this reminds me of like Mother Nature. Of this baby getting full sustenance. This mother is holding this baby's hand while this baby breastfeeds from the mother, the one mother, the great mother, right? And that child, I'll say that earth child has plenty of sustenance and joy. That mother is nurturing this baby, is looking into this baby, and is producing the most nutritious milk for this baby. And if you can see here too, and I'll put it back up again, this light, right? It's almost like a channel. It's the connectedness. It's almost like through the baby, through the mother, through the top. But remember, this card was upside down. This card only says joy. That's the only message on this card. And so, what did I say earlier? Joy. It's upside down, which means we are not doing the thing. We are not acknowledging. We are not taking a step. We are not. And we are called to come bring this, what brings us joy. Even if you can't just stop what you are doing and completely step into the thing that brings you joy. If you can do it, baby, do it, honey. If you got some sort of security, if you have your beloved, your spouse, where it's two in a household that can support a night and day shift, and it doesn't, and that's your step, whatever your step looks like for you. If you need to take baby steps, right? If you have a savings, if you have manifest, and what I mean is manifest in the most magical of ways. Set your intention and don't follow the cues, follow the nudges. Sometimes we can get in our own way where we think that we're the ones who are going to provide the sustenance and the way and the finance for us to get to the thing. But let me tell you, when you have true faith and you set the intention, spirit will show up and show out, right? Maybe it's about manifesting the person that has everything you need. It's going to get you there, whether it's a silent partner, a silent contributor. Open up your means to channel in, right? Maybe I've heard stories of people needing, like I heard one girl talk about making candles, and found a woman on the street who was selling candles for the right price, and she bought all of the candles. It was to the exact penny. And it was all the candles that she needed to get started with what her business and what she was doing, right? So all I'm saying is abundance comes in many different ways, right? And that leads us right into the next card of giving and receiving. So this came out upside down as well. Again, I don't know why I know this in dark. I'm gonna show y'all on the screen. But this is my I'm sorry, and this is Asasheya. Asaseya. Y'all look. promise I know how to read. I don't know how to say her name. But these are African goddesses, by the way. So if you're familiar with the African pantheon, you can correct me down there. You can put it phonetically in the comments. But Ma'at, I know who that is, right? Giving and receiving, right? Giving and receiving. So this goddess is as much about the heart being weighed by the feather, and she actually has that in the photo. So look in that photo real close. In her left hand is the heart, and her right is the feather, and this is about weighing the heart and the feather. Is your heart, if you are living in harmony, living in balance, your heart will be weighed by the feather, should be as light as the feather, right? So it's about keeping your heart clear, right? If you're holding on to resentment, if you're holding on to, oh, he did this to me, she did this to me, in the victim mindset, if you are giving too much of yourself, right? It's really about balance, giving and receiving. You can give too much, right? And almost be a martyr for the cause. We are not called to be martyrs in this lifetime. Maybe if you have a special assignment, I don't know of it. But I'm not here to, this for what I know, you are not here to be the sacrificial lamb for anything. You are here to step into your power, right? The sacrifice is over in the past, right? We're not sacrificing ourselves for other people, right? You're not sacrificing yourself for your loved one. You're not sacrificing yourself for your kids. You're not sacrificing yourself for nobody. You are to be in balance. And it is in the overflow of giving to yourself that you are able to pour into your loved ones, into your kids, into your business, into your things, right? It's about putting your oxygen mask on first, right? It's not everybody's belief, but I know I've personally talked to, and I've lived that, like, really, to be truthful, which partly led me to this walk of getting to a low point in my life where I didn't like the person who I become. I didn't like the wife that I was. I didn't like the friend that I was. I didn't like the mother that I was. And I had truly emptied myself and poured myself into my children, into my husband at the time, into everyone else, and neglected myself, right? I got to the point where I emptied my cup. And it's not sustainable. And for my feminine, even for my masculine, if you've ever poured and gave and gave and gave to yourself to where you have nothing left, you know what I'm talking about, right? So this has been the journey back to me, right? And what I learned from that experience, I wouldn't take it back for the world, right? I was married 13 years. I have mama 6, beautiful souls. And so, in this journey back to self, what I've discovered is that, it has to be a balance. It has to, right? And I share that to be, and that's for somebody out there, because I don't want to make this about me, but I share that to say, even if you're a giver, sometimes we're a part of us thinks that we're here to give, or maybe we're in relationships that require or that demand that you give so much of yourself, but you're not receiving what's equal in return. And I'm telling you, it's a one-way, one-sided, don't, or do, if that's the way you want to learn your lesson. I'm just saying, on the other end of it, I can tell you, it's very draining, right? And maybe it's just perception shift. But anywho, y'all know what I'm getting at with that. This is about giving and receiving, and it's about the balance. So upside down, balance it out, whether you are taking too much or whether you are giving too much. It is time to give and receive equally. If you're burnt out, if you are if you're just in a place to where you are like, bro, like, something's got to give. You are 100% correct. Something does got to give. And that is you giving back to yourself. You filling your cup. You being your lover. You being your friend. You being your parent. You being everything that you need, that you feel you need from the outside. It's time to take that and turn it into yourself. Some of us need to reparent ourselves, right? We didn't get the love. We didn't get the recognition. We got abandoned. We got abused. We got, the story, whatever. Fill in the blank, whatever your story is. One story is not better or worse than the other. It is just the story, the unique story that you needed for you to come back to you, right? This person may needed to be abandoned by their parent. This person may needed to be violated in this walk, in this journey, in this lifetime. But both of these things, and I don't say need to, like I'm promoting that those things should be happening to people. But what I'm saying is the reality is, the truth is, they do happen to people. It is a part of people's stories. It's been a part of my story, and my story is no greater than anybody else's story, and their story is not greater than my story. It's just the thing that we needed, that I needed when I got as low as I can get, when I got to the place where I did not recognize who I was anymore. There was nowhere to turn. There was nobody outside of me that was going to give me what I needed for me. That's all I'm saying. So it's time to give back to yourself. It's time for you to receive. If you don't know how to receive, that's a thing, right? Some people are, especially those who have really big hearts. And I don't say that to say stop giving. Like, I honor you, right? The person who can give out of the kindness of your heart. All I'm saying is balance it out, right? When someone's coming to assist you, when someone, hey, brother, you need a hand with that. Hey, sis, you need help. Say yes, right? Balance it out, especially if you're not used to it. It can feel weird at first, right? Like I realized that I had a problem with receiving, right? Receiving compliments, receiving just receiving things from people, and make that a sacred, honor yourself and make that sacred too, right? Giving is great, receiving is great, right? Because in this, we are giving, we are receiving. And I also have a video on that too. Well, I talked about it in another video, but so yes, with that being said, we'll move on to nature spirits. This card came out in the last reading, right? And it's here again, nature spirits. And I'm going to put it up there. Elves, fairies, rock formation. And the way I see this card today is really, it's highlighted on this waterfall, right? Flow. And what's coming to me is flow of abundance. Flow, opening up, right? This waterfall is giving to the rest of this waterway, right? And it is a symbiotic relationship, right? All of nature is working together, right? These nature spirits, the flow, your flow of your abundance comes through your joy, right? So stepping into the path of the thing that brings you the greatest joy will allow for you for the flow, right, of the giving and receiving. However, whatever your joy is going to be infectious, right? Whether you're here to make music, whether you're here to write stories, whether you're here to care for animals, whether you're here to build architecture, whether you're here to create something that doesn't exist, whatever you're here to do, it is a frequency of joy, right, that you get into that resonates out into the collective, right, into the community, into whoever you're here to service, right? And in that will be bringing you into balance, right? it'll bring your heart into balance. So typically if you're not operating in this space, we tend to be bitter, resentful, upset. We dread going to wherever we're supposed to be. It's unbalanced, right? So it brings your heart into balance. And in that, it also brings in a steady flow and symbiotic relationship of you within nature. We are nature, right? And the evidence of that, we are not, most of us, a lot of us, I'm not gonna say most of us because I'm not, I don't have the numbers of people around the world. We want to be technical, but I will say at least where I reside, in the United States, and I go to a building for work and I, work with the military, but in this built up place that I live in, there is, in many other, like when we think about consumption and when we think about, nature and tearing down the trees and destroying places and building up these buildings and streets and materials and sewage ways and all the things. I'm not, y'all don't come for me. I'm just saying that some of the ways that we have built up our modern society is not in balance. It's not in balance with nature. Period. Whether we're going to the store and eating all these things in plastic wrappers, and whether it's the chemicals that's in the food, however the case may be, we're not in balance, right? So what I'm saying is, long story short, your joyful endeavor will bring this flow of abundance. There still is the call to get into nature, right? Nature also, this is coming to me, grounding nature, right? So we think about, especially for those of us who don't work outside and in nature, but we have shoes on our feet, right? So grounding is a real thing, right? We are the only species of animal, right, that we don't have our feet on the ground. We don't connect with earth 100% of the time. Like, we're not walking barefoot, and therefore we are disconnected, right? So there's a call to get connected back with nature again. If you don't feel comfortable taking your shoes off, go take a walk, soak up the air, go be amongst trees, hug a tree, talk to a tree, plant some flowers, add some plants to your space, right? You don't gotta be out there camping and go live off grid, even though that sounds amazing. But if you love your indoor, you love your modern living, bring some plants in your space, right? Whatever you need to do to integrate nature into your environment and into your awareness, start doing that, right? There's messages there. There is a resonance and a tapping into nature, that nature is calling, right? Nature is calling, right? The goddesses are calling. Remember that message. And shine brightly. Look, and I didn't even recognize it's another waterfall. That's dope. Okay. And you know what? Like, as I think about it, even this one, it's like a waterfall of, it almost, like the connection almost looks like a waterfall of fire behind her. So something significant about waterfalls. But in this, it says, shine brightly, stand out, be proud, individuality. Okay, so in this, right, this is the walk. This is your walk, right? This is the thing that may be uncomfortable, right? And back to the truth, it may be uncomfortable. Notice where, what's coming to me right now, where these whatever you're called to do, maybe there's a you care about what other people think. That's about the best way I can put it. But you're called to break out into your individual. I'm gonna say, I don't want to say F them, because it's not F them. We love everybody, right? But F it, right? Like, we don't listen. Step out, be an individual. Your uniqueness, whatever you're interested in, whatever brings you joy, that carries a resonance that other people need, right? So whatever it is, if you're in especially to those of you who are here to create the things that don't exist, you really gotta be trend setting out here, right? You are not getting to the place, and I'm getting chills right now, so this is a very important message. This is an important message. Duly noted. But yes, this is a message for you. Your individuality is going to be tied. It's going to be tied to this abundance, to these waterfalls. It is only when you step into the thing that you're here. It's so rare. It's so different. It's so out of the box. It is. It's a thing that maybe many people will not understand. It may give you feelings of being ostracized, but know that your spirit guides are with you, especially for you, and you're highly protected. For those of you who are here, especially on sacred missions, for those of you who are here to bring in things that don't exist, your missions are vital. They're important. And they may perceivingly threaten your safety and security, right? This is all red that they're in. Seemingly. But you're being asked to stand out. Stand on that. Stand on whatever you're here. Lean into it. Figure out what mindset, what mental block you're keeping yourself, or you're allowing for yourself to not be in this joy frequency. When you are in joy, you are being nurtured, you are being fed. Your abundance flows. Your heart is light. And let that be evidence too. Let that be evidence to y'all. If you don't know, if you in it, no, you're going to know if you in it. You're going to know if you in it. But for those who are in it, they know they in it. But for those of you who are questioning if you're in that place where your heart is light, where you're in joy, where the abundance is flowing, are those things prevalent in your reality? If they're not, then you're not in it. That's it. And if you're wondering what that thing is, follow your heart. Tap into your heart. It's the thing. It may be the thing that makes you feel uncomfortable. It may be the thing that triggers your heart racing and nervousness, and your palms sweaty, and your body's highly reactive, right? Maybe you don't like audiences. Maybe you don't, maybe your friends and family and the people who you surround yourself with don't under or understand these things. And for those of you who are here to bring things that don't exist, no, I'm gonna tell you, nobody's gonna get it. And if you happen to have a person who's around you that supports you no matter what, even in your not knowing, follow the breadcrumbs and hang on. Call on your guides, and you got some keepers. And not to say that the naysayers who don't believe or have to see to believe, but you're being called to step into what you know, and what you know is inside of you. Don't let people talk you out of your truth. Don't let the truths that were truths of the past, right? Those truths, like when I look back at those moments, and that's what's coming back full circle. Some of those truths that caused me pain back then because I didn't understand my connection to my truth, right? I wasn't connected to myself back then. So I didn't have the strength to stand on business and to stand on my truth and to, I would say play myself, or I gave in to said people spite my truth, right? And so you're being called to not do that moving forward. You have to move forward, actually. So, if your individuality, if the thing that you're here to stand out, shine brightly, your guides are with you. You're being guided. Again, I've said this message before. Shine bright, be proud, stand out. Know that whatever you're doing is amazing. It may be the thing that you're not even, that they may not see, that, we got people of the past history who got their flowers after they left this earth. People didn't recognize the genius while they were here. They recognized it later on through the descendants and through the evolution of time and of humanity. Did they understand that, these Einsteins and some of these people who were ahead of their time, but they were needed because they planted the seed. They planted the seed for us today. So is there anything else? Rejoice and be glad. So rejoice and be glad. I love it. So joy, gratitude. If you're in a hard place right now, and it's you getting up on your feet and you coming out of a dark place, or even a place of stillness, right? Spirit will have us be still as well. So if you're coming out of a place of stillness, if you're in a place of stillness, find the beauty. There's beauty in stillness. Sometimes shit is so chaotic and it's all over the place. You can't even think, right? So be still. Allow yourself to surrender to the stillness, and know that from what's seemingly dark, right? Every seed that's growing has to start out in the dark. So whatever you're here to produce, whatever you're here to manifest, needs that's here to grow and sustain, needs that stillness. It needs that dark period. So learn how to embrace it, learn how to love it, get comfortable in it. Allow the fear, allow all of the falseness. I don't think that's a word, but we're making it a word right now. Falseness, and y'all know what it means. Allow that shit to fall away. Allow it to fall away, so that you can be reborn, so that you can be the frequency and give off the resonance of what's true for you, what's authentic, right? You can come out of the stillness. I see the phoenix rising, right? So that you can be the phoenix. Let all of that shit, just let it burn away. Be in stillness. Hermit. Come back into your safe space. Be by yourself. And wherever you're uncomfortable, it's really not, right? It's really not. It's the thing that we need to let go of with this as we pass this full moon, so we can step into this next, so we can grow something that's sustainable, something that's going to bring in this flow of abundance. So, yeah. With that, I thank y'all. I love y'all. Again, I have consultations, so if you want a session, book down below. You want to see some other readings, go ahead. Click on my page, see some of the other readings. Soul Tapestries will be My other channel will be, I'm going to start putting energy and attention and intention into that channel here coming up. So yeah, family, I just invite y'all to grow with me, like, subscribe. If there's any topics or anything or any questions, just put it in the comment. Maybe I channel some information on it. So yeah, I don't know. I'm open. I'm here. I'm just of service to my guides, but to humanity. I love this work. I believe that we are here to be the best versions of ourselves, to remember that we are love. And with that said, until next week, unless we have a message before then, I love y'all. Peace.